Well, hey, friends, I want to talk today about this employee labor model. See, I don't like that. We're going to try again. See, that's why we do that, right? I can have my guy edit it. Okay. Hey, friends, just about every day, I still get calls from all kinds of folks in the restaurant and hospitality industry and other industries asking for help around the idea of attracting and retaining great employees and building culture and strong teams. And I'm always on the hunt for what's new. What are people doing out there that is unique and different? And what kind of benefits, what kind of programs, what kind of trainings are folks employing and practicing that are best practices that we can share. And hopefully that'll help somebody listening to this today. You know, when you ask employees what they want, they often will articulate things that sound a little bit like and sometimes different from what we're offering. Some examples, beginning of the pandemic, halfway through the pandemic, and over the last 6 months, we've seen surveys go out to large numbers of employees across lots of sectors, and including specifically the hospitality sector and even as niche as the restaurant industry. And the feedback continues to be the same. And quite honestly, having been in turnaround management and hospitality, outsource management, and transition management for 30 years, I can tell you this has always really been the case, but it's certainly becoming a lot more obvious and a lot more talked about. And that is really four or five things that matter. Pay is always on the table, right? You have to be an equal participant in the equality of pay for the industry and the work that you do. But pay is only 20% of the total comp package that employees tell us, the elements of which matter most to them. The other four are really focused on the human. They need predictability. They want predictability in schedule. So in the restaurant industry, we've been notorious about putting out a schedule on Thursday that starts on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and it's just for next week. And it's volatile and may change pretty regularly. I can tell you that over the last 20 years, I've implemented a program where everybody gets the schedule they want consistently. And I can do this in as little as 10 employees and as many as 300 employees in a single business unit. But predictability and schedule really matters. People have busy lives, they have kids, they have spouses, they have other obligations to family members, maybe ailing family members or people they care for. They have other hobbies. Certainly today they have um, call them hobbies or side gigs or side hustles, where they're doing something they're passionate about and maybe making money at it. So predictability matters. Benefits as a category matter, but what are in those benefits that are more personalized is what we're going to talk a little bit about more today. So we have predictability, pay, predictability in scheduling, or predictability in my work experience. Obviously, culture matters, right? I hashtag most of my videos with culture matters because employees tell us that the work environment matters. They are more engaged, more productive, more eager, and certainly give a better experience to our customers when they are in an environment that they enjoy, when they're working around people that lift them up and not tear them down. So those toxic coworkers, those know-it-alls, those bosses, supervisors, managers that don't really treat them well. And quite frankly, the other side of that pendulum is they're looking for uh, an opportunity to grow. And so they want team members and supervisors, managers, owners, operators, companies, corporations, they want to be invested in. They want you to give them tools and resources, knowledge and experience, coaching and refinement. They really do want that. Opportunity is one of the big five. They say, if we have an opportunity to grow personally, grow professionally, and skill up so that we can not only make more money, but have elevated status within our business, we're more likely to stay. So let's talk a little bit about benefits. Health, life, short-term, long-term disability, dental, vision, how much you cover, how much you match, how much you pay for their family members to be on plan. That's table stakes, right? Those are benchmark flat table stakes. and we all go out and get packages and determine how much we're going to provide, and then we offer that to our employees, and they do or don't take advantage of it, and it is or is not enough in many cases. What else do we provide? Well, in the restaurant and hospitality industry, if you're a hotelier, you probably offer some hotel nights a year, some friends and family rate access. If you're in the restaurant business, you may offer employee discounts, employee meals at a discount, or employee meals hopefully at no cost. Um, Again, I think those are table stakes. What else are you doing that's creative? Well, it's funny when you do these surveys for the last 20 years, believe it or not, I was on that side of the table at one point where the employees said, pet insurance mattered to them. They have pets. Pets are a big part of our lives as a human experience, especially in North America, and they're expensive, and long-term care and medical care is expensive. So they would love some support there, and pet insurance is pretty affordable. So in the corporate world, pet insurance became actually a very common benefit outside of, say, hospitality and restaurant, but even hospitality. I know pet insurance is actually offered through my wife's hospitality company. Um, what else? Most benefits are kind of thought of in generic terms. They're thought of in what satisfies the group at sort of the least common denominator level. Well, I'm going to challenge everybody to think a little bit deeper and think a little bit more personalized. The better you know your individual employees, what are they interested in? What excites them? What are they looking to learn? What is their life goal that you can support them in now to get the next 2, 3, 5 years out of them before they become an airline pilot, a nurse, a truck driver? I've had all of folks leave my operations and go do all of these things and many others. But when you know them really deeply, you can get a little bit more contextualized with your benefits. Now, whether that's bonus structure, profit sharing structure, more offset to their medical, you pay a greater percentage, higher percentages of 401k matching potentially, and other things beyond that. But when you know your employees, you can certainly start thinking a little bit more specifically about how you might structure a compensation and benefits package directly for them when you hire them, or certainly go back and talk to your existing team and say, what matters to you? What can I do that would really move the needle to make you feel even more valued, but really actually give you the support you need in the areas of your life that matter? Because quite frankly, if I'm single with no kids going to college, what I'm moved by and what matters to me is different from a 45-year-old with 3 kids, a working spouse, and other concerns in life. They probably trying to save for buying a home or own a home and want to get an RV, or who knows what those things are. But they're different. They're different people. They have different needs. They have different interests. Now we all, when in our 20s, were motivated by some of the same things. $25 bar tab a week would certainly make a big difference to a 20 something versus a 40 something, right? But I want to bring in a guest. I found a company and this gentleman a couple of months ago, and it's a great company that I've been engaging with and learning more about. And I just think that what they're doing is different, and I think that it can benefit not only everybody listening here, but even ourselves, right? In how we might think about taking advantage of this program. So I want to bring in JJ Dunn from Benetix. Hey, JJ.
Hey, Troy. How are we doing today?
Very good. Thanks for coming on and having a conversation. How did I do with setting the tone and establishing the need for contextualized benefit provider?
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Perfectly executed.
Well, good. So, JJ, you work with a company called Benetix. Uh, Benefit tickets, I'm guessing, is where the name sort of came from. But the thought that your company can provide access to special events through the employer to the employee partner, whatever that is, even potentially vendors, or maybe even customers. Right? This is an opportunity for a company to purchase access and then give that tokenized access to somebody so they can go get the experience they want. Can you tell us a little bit about what Benetix is, how it works, and then definitely give us some examples of how people have utilized your tool and some of the reactions and feedback you've gotten as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Benetix is a one-of-a-kind corporate ticket concierge service. Um, Employees and clients alike are able to access our self-service proprietary portal, but more importantly, it's access to any show, any concert, or any sporting event anywhere in the United States. Um, the concept was really created as not necessarily a silver bullet, but a tool to further engage employees. Employee engagement seems to be top topic of discussion throughout all industries, and everybody's trying to solve for it. And we felt, what better way to take the guesswork out of it than allowing the employees, allowing clients alike to choose around their preferences, choose events around their schedules, and take their friends and family that are important to them most. Um, some instances that we're seeing more and more repeatedly is parents of children taking their kids to see Disney on Ice, or our account management, performing the concierge service of sourcing tickets to MLB playoffs or the World Series. Just this past weekend, some of our clients had a super strong emotional bond to Clemson University, and they went to see the ACC championship. Creating these experiences that lead to memories is hands down one of the best ways to get that emotional commitment from employees, from clients, from vendors, from customers altogether.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for setting the tone, because that's those are fantastic examples. Let's make this really real. I'm going to make it personal. Um, if you're an employer or a vendor or a partner or something, and you want to give a gift, you want to give a bonus. Maybe it is a structured, achievable level of return on that effort. Um, if you were to ask me what I'm into, because this is what happens, right? The HR comes around, or supervisors, managers come around, and they try to start to like tickle out of you things about you they don't know, and then they make a big guess. So they give Troy tickets to the LA Kings hockey game. Troy, do you like sports? Yeah, I love it. Do you like live sports? Oh yeah, I love going to live sports. Great. Where do you live? LA. Fantastic. That's all they ask me. And then they give me LA Kings hockey tickets. Well, that's great. Love it. Love to go to a game. Whatever the value of those seats are, doesn't matter. Great experience. Except what you don't realize is that you've given me a specific ticket on a specific day to a specific seat at a specific time. And I've got a 2-year-old, and I've got a wife that works, and I travel for work, and she travels a little bit sometimes for work. And maybe those tickets for that day at that time to that thing are not exactly what I would find to be most beneficial as a gift, right? And so, not that it goes unappreciated, but I think more often than not, then we give those to our family members. We put it on Facebook, we sell them for $60 or $20 or whatever, or we pass them on, and we go, oh, that would have been nice. I don't really get to enjoy that benefit, and it really doesn't land the way it would have if I got to choose, right?
Right.
So let's talk about Benetix. Benetix is a tokenized system with a platform that allows people to take a gift of a certain value, take a token of a certain value, and redeem it, kind of like a Visa gift card. If I gave you a Visa gift card and said, go buy yourself some tickets to the NFL game you want to go to, or the concert or the theater show or whatever. Well, we all know what happens with that Visa card, right? It goes right down against the credit card debt, goes right down as a payment for some clothes for the kids, whatever. So we want
Right.
we want somebody to have an experience. We really want them to take a night off, take a day, go do this thing and make memories. I love that you said that. So talk a little bit about the mechanics of how your platform works, and what kinds of things you've seen people get out of it. And if you've got any good stories about, oh my gosh, life memories were made, this was amazing, that'd be great too.
Absolutely. So Nailed it. It is a token-based system. Tokens can standardly be redeemed for anywhere from 2 to 6 tickets to any show, any concert, any sporting event. Essentially, if there's a ticket for an event, it's included in Benetix's inventory. Something that's unheard of across all ticket platforms. All sales are final. However, with Benetix, tokens can be reclaimed and the tickets can go back into the portal with 96 hours prior to an event. So no questions asked return policy. We understand that plans change, kids get sick, just schedules shift.
Babysitters
And we
quit.
want exactly.
I've lost 3 babysitters in just over 2 years, right at 2 years. But they all got real jobs. They didn't leave because we're terrible parents or whatever. We love them. We appreciate them. We give, but quite frankly, I wish I had some tokens to give them. Might have been able to retain them, but we lost them to getting, big fancy jobs that they were looking to get. That's great. But that stuff happens. I mean, it's just real. And some of it happens the day of or the night of or the day before. So sometimes, you'll be out, but if you got 96 hours, you're probably going to be okay.
Right. And we do through just treating outstanding customers to building relationships with clients to I know we're located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and a lot of our partner and clients vendors are big fans of the soccer team that just had their inaugural season. And through providing these tickets to some of the vendors, it's really strengthened these key relationships from our clients to their vendors and their clients alike. One example that I've already tossed out there was the client that was looking to get tickets to a World Series game, and it was actually for his father-in-law. And it allowed them to go to the game together. And the son-in-law, our client, not necessarily the biggest MLB fan or even biggest sports fan, but he reported back that his father-in-law had knocked something off of his bucket list. I mean, how special is that? It was something that he had been hoping to do for years and years and years, and was able to do so through just a call, text, or email to the Benetix account management, and the tickets were sent within 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that's really special. I mean, at the end of the day, giving people choice within kind of a contextualized system. So, look, I want you to go have an experience. It's all kinds of experiences, whatever really you're most interested in. By the way, the tokens last, right? I can give a token to somebody and they have lasting value. It's not necessarily going to expire by the end of this year or et cetera. So you have time to fit it into your life to find the thing that you're most interested in. And by the way, as I've learned from you and most recently with your concierge level services, is if I go on the portal and don't see exactly what I'm looking for, it's not quite there yet, or I have a particular event in mind, like you said, the ACC game was not on their radar until their team made it into the ACC championship game. Now all of a sudden they got to scramble and try to go. Now I can pull the trigger and utilize that benefit. I just think that is so incredibly personal. I love that we're talking about building, giving experiences, right? Because we're all really bad at taking time off, setting money aside, buying that thing in advance with enough notice that we get it for a reasonable price that we can afford. And then we're just sitting there sweating like, oh my gosh, I hope the car doesn't break down, or I hope the babysitter doesn't quit, or I hope the kid doesn't get sick, or the babysitter gets sick, or whatever that is, that suddenly now I can't even go. But with this program, there's some flexibility built in there. I think these are really important, differentiated ways to think about incentivizing your team, incentivizing. By the way, I love it. You use the word vendor. I kind of threw it out there once or twice. This isn't just, employer to employee. Hey, by the way, could be employee to employer, could be appreciation, right? Could be, I love the idea of vendors. How many vendors do you work with that don't really get that thank you, right? Or you may kind of buy a certain number of baskets and you give everybody sort of the same gift, right? We're talking about really personalized, incentives and benefits and gifting here that you can do over and over again, right? This can be built into a system. If you want to build it into your comp package for 2023, you can build it in and say X number of performance. Some of that's cash, Some of that might be stock or equity in the company, as some companies do, and some of it's going to be Benetix tokens, right? And each token, let's just say each token's worth $200, so you can calculate that. So I just think that this is a really interesting thing. I wanted to get you on and talk a little bit about it. I wanted the people that engage with my content that I put out for our industry and even across small business is in general to know about it, because I think it's very unique. I've never seen anything quite like this. And I love that it's sort of in this new world internet, tokenized, cloud-based interactive system. And you guys have added a personalized touch with the concierge. So if people want to know more about Benetix, want to get in touch with you, want to learn a little bit deeper about how they might be able to bring this into their business, how do they get in touch with you, JJ?
So the site is benetix.co, and my contact information is jj@benetix.co. We've really been trying to come up with a more business-friendly Ticketmaster StubHub, if you will. And believe me, the request for Taylor Swift tickets has been skyrocketing.
I can only imagine. Having gone through it for Garth Brooks recently. But yeah, appreciate it, JJ. Really glad to have you come on and talk a little bit about it, talk about the subject matter in general, and look forward to seeing what's next with Benetix. And hopefully some of our listeners will dig in and contact you and see how this can be a differentiating proposition for their business. Have a great time. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thank you very much.